Hello and welcome to this Market Ki Baatein episode. We have been discussing about various aspects of the markets, and we have been discussing especially in the last three issues about how should we be trading with volumes. My name is Raja Venkatraman. I am the co-founder of New Trader and also your trading influencer. Been in the market for more than 15 years, happily married with a loving wife and an energetic son who keeps me on the run just like the markets. So, friends, welcome back once again to this episode where we are going to be discussing about how can we focus on some important elements. Yes, last time we had discussed on what exactly are we going to do with regards to the volume. We discussed in the part one as to how should we be reading the volumes. We discussed in the part two about how the role of volume and open interest plays a good role in shaping our market understanding. And now we are going to get into the volume indicators, right? The volume indicators are an interesting set. They give a good idea about how should we be reading the volumes, how should we be understanding the volumes, and how can we interpret the whole lot better. So today we are going to be focusing on those elements, and we're going to find out how can we get some clarity on those elements. So let me go right away and share with you the screen and show you how we can focus on some important understanding about the volume concept. Yes, volume, we all know, appears on the downside of a price action, but then there are many ways to interpret the volumes, and I'll touch upon some of them so that you get an idea of how a volume indicator makes a difference, and what are the various ways of looking at volume, and how can we add the concept of volume to our market understanding per se. All right. So here goes. Let me share with you my screen. You can see here that I have on the screen where at the top you have got the price action, right? You got the price action, and at the bottom panel, okay, at the bottom panel, you have something called as a money flow index. A money flow index is a very powerful way to look at the markets. Money flow index gives you a very good idea. Okay, it gives you a very good idea about how you can measure the buying and selling pressure. There is always a buying and selling pressure, and that's how the market behaves. The continuous buying and selling pressure which emerges in the market gives you that bit of an edge, and by analyzing the money flow index, you get a very good idea about what is the kind of interest which is there in the stock. So what basically happens in a money flow index is you take the typical price, which is the average or the pivot price, and based on that, you find out what is the kind of money which is flowing in into the stock, money which is going out of the stock. This way, you are able to get a very good perspective, and this particular perspective helps you to get an understanding. So once that particular measure is undertaken, it is plotted like an index. Many of you would know a very popular momentum oscillator called as RSI. So this is something like that. It is tracking the money which is coming in and going out of the security. And because it has been tracked as an index, okay, because it has been tracked as an index, you get a very good understanding of how the whole movement is happening. And because you are able to look at this kind of movement, you are also able to use the concept which you use in an RSI, like maybe an overbought or an oversold, and that way you get a very good understanding of how the movement has taken place. So for example, if you just take a look at the stock, in my previous Ma- Market Ki Baatein episode, where I had discussed about the concept of granules and how the volume environment makes a big difference. The charts of granules have moved quite well. The prices have moved quite well. Now, when you take a look at as a continuation of that example, you can see here that out here, you can see the MFI was hitting into the oversold region. I've taken a 30-minute chart for illustrative purposes. And you can see here, after it hit the oversold levels, there was a good recovery from here. And that's how using an MFI chart, MFI additional tool, you will be able to get a measure of how the movement is happening. So MFI gives you a very good indication, and by using the overbought and oversold levels, you will be able to get a very good idea about how you can use this play. Well, how to use this more in detail and based on various other case studies, I'll be covering it in my further episodes. But now this is just a throw some pointers which I would like to leave it with you on how to get started with using not just the volume but other indicators which are derived based on volume. So this was one of them. Now let's this is appearing at the bottom of your price chart. So now let us go to another tool which is called as on balance volume, right? This is a tool which has been developed by Joseph Granville, and it's a very good indication. It's a very simple indicator. It is tracking the total volume which have been coming in and going out of the security, and it is based on the price action. So based on the closing of the particular price of that particular time frame, if it's a 30-minute, based on the 30-minute, if it's a daily, based on the daily, you get a measure of the volume. So this is a on balance volume indicator, and you can see here that there is a steady inflow in this particular stock. So you can see here that at these levels there were not much of participation, but as the prices started rising, there has been a steady increase in volume. So if you want to measure the steady increase in volume, this is a very good tool because it gives you a good indication of how the participation is happening, and how you can get a measure of what are the kind of measures which you need to take, what is the kind of buying interest, what is the kind of selling pressure, all those things will come into play. So here I have put both of them together. I have put here the money flow index, as well as I have put the on balance volume. While the on balance volume suggests that yes, there is a strong bullish momentum which is developing in this counter, the MFI suggests that probably we are hitting into the overbought territory. And because we are hitting into the overbought territory, you can also begin to look for divergences. Yes, divergences, overbought, oversold, all these things come from the money flow index, and you can use your on balance volume to see whether there is a good strength in the stock. So if there is a good strength in the stock, you can continue to hold on to this position, and based on the MFI, you will be able to know whether the trends are reaching a point of exhaustion. So these are some indicators which will give you a good idea about the concept of volume. But there are certain other indicators, like many of you would have heard of volume profile. Volume profile is also a very powerful way to look at the kind of action which is taking place. Why? Because price and volume are the pillars on which the whole concept of the market works. So that's why you got to understand this, and that's why in all the three episodes, but if you're watching this video, or if you're watching this either on Instagram or on YouTube, then you should go and check out the other videos as well, because I have touched upon various aspects of volume which are intricate to your understanding, and which will make some difference, or at least which will lead you into learning about all these things in a bit much more detail. Now coming back to volume profile is an advanced charting tool, and it is used by many analysts aggressively. Why? Because if you see here, volume profile, unlike coming on your x-axis, it comes on your y-axis, and it gives you a trading activity over a period of time. So by this, what is the advantage is that you get to know what is the, there is a concept called as POC, which is called as a point of control. So it tells you which is the point at which there is maximum buildup of position, and that acts as a fulcrum for your positioning. It is very effective when you're going to participate in the market. It is very effective when you want to find out, okay, what is the price point, or what is the value area on which I should be acting upon. And this helps you to know that what is the reversal point along the chart. and you know that till that point is breached, that is the reversal point. So when you know that, okay, there is, if you take a look at the charts of granule, which you can see on the charts, you can see here that at the bottom level there were sufficient volume bars. You can see here the volume bars are tall around this lower end, and as the volume built up, now there is some position happening here, and if the volume bars are tall at higher levels, you know that that point could be a sell off point. So once that is a sell off point, you know that yes, there is also a potential for profit booking. So that way you will get a good measure of where there is some buying emerging, where there is some selling emerging, and that way you can position yourself as a trader. What is the most important thing which we need as a trader? We need to position ourselves as much as possible, as far as possible, in alignment with the trend. And this way you get to know that yes, the prices are moving and also supported by volumes. So this is a very, very powerful tool, and it is often used by advanced traders. But then I thought that all of you should know that this is something very interesting, and it definitely reveals what is the kind of participation which is there, what is the kind of activity which is happening, whether the activity is dormant or whether the people are very active. And that way you know that how each session is being played out, how each day is being played out, and that way you will get a very, very good idea. So this is something which is happening on the y-axis. So now let me take you into another popular tool which is also based on the volume, which everyone knows by the popular name called as VWAP, right? VWAP is nothing but volume weighted average price, right? Volume weighted average price is also a technical analysis tool, right? Volume weighted average price is also a technical analysis tool, and it is a technical analysis tool which measures what, just like the word says, it is based on a weighted average, and it says that how much is the volume being calculated, and whether the prices are being have the price movement is being supported by the volume. So it is similar to a moving average. You can see here it is similar to a moving average, and normally the mutual funds or HNIs, they use these as when prices are traveling much high above a VWAP, then people use it to initiate some shorts, and at lower level they initiate to use some buy, use it as a buy. The HNI or the mutual funds who are trading on a bigger size position, but the retail trader uses this as a buy opportunity, and anytime the prices move above the VWAP, he initiates a buy, and whenever a price moves below the VWAP, they initiate a sell. That's how the retail trader works. And when you are using a VWAP, it gives you a very good idea about determining the general direction of the intraday prices. It's very, very good for the intraday traders, and those who are actively into intraday trading, they will have very, very good clarity about the whole concept of market action. They will have a whole idea about how the markets are going, and this way you will be able to get a very, very good sense of how the market is positioning itself, how the trends are positioning itself, and that's how you will be able to get a better understanding. So what we have essentially seen, okay, over the last 3 episodes are different styles of looking at the volume, different concepts of looking at the volume. And today I have shown you the different volume indicators, which are either as appears as a separate panel, or appears along the y-axis, or directly placed on the price. So there are 3 variations which I have shown you, and you can choose whichever variation you want, just to get a feel about what is the kind of participation. Because without getting a feel about what is the kind of participation, किस तरह के लोग participate कर रहे हैं उस particular movement में, आपको आपके participation से फायदा होना मुश्किल है. So once you get a hang of these tools, it will always help you to get a good measure of how you can participate with in a more structured way and in a more organized way. So my Market Ki Baatein episodes are all about helping you to get a good perspective about the markets using the simple tools and making profits on a consistent basis. Well, there are some queries which are coming up. So if you have any query on any particular stock, so yes, here I have a request to analyze graphite. So let's see on graphite and take a look at how is this stock shaping up as far as the VWAPs are concerned. So yes, you can see here that based on the VWAP theory which I shared with you, it was not doing so well. But you can see here in today, there has been a very strong move based on the VWAP, and you can see here that based on the VWAP, it was a very strong potential mover above these levels, and you can see that there has been some strong buying happening. So this is how you can use this concept. You can use it on any stock you want. You can use it on any charts you want, and you'll find this concept quite good. Okay, so let's take a look again at graphite based on the volume profile. You can see here that out here there were some build up, right? And now what has happened is there is some steady build up happening in the charts of graphite. This is a 30-minute chart. This was the point of control, which was around 638, where the price spent some time. And now you can see here that the price is steadily picking up, and there is steady participation which is emerging here. And that is signaling that the charts are looking for some more gains in the coming days. How much, how far is something which other tools of technical analysis will show us. But then this concept of using the volume profile, volume indicators are what pointing us towards some bit of action. I hope all of you are getting some insights on how to look at the market condition, how to look at the various sets of tools and techniques. And if you like what you saw, if you like what you observed, if it's helping you improving your way of looking at the markets, please go ahead and leave a like, leave a comment, and do subscribe to our channel, because this kind of structured analysis is not done anywhere on the internet. Along with that, this kind of detailed explanation of tools to help you get ahead in the market is also something which we are focusing on. And I hope you will continue to be a part of this growing tribe of my YouTube family. And I want you to go ahead, or my Instagram family, and I want you to give a like, a comment, and also say what is the next topic you would like to go in for, so that I can help you get more perspective about this. This is Raja Venkatraman signing off. I'm the co-founder of New Trader and also your trading influencer. Been in the markets for more than 15 years, happily married with a loving wife and an energetic son who keeps me on the run just like the markets. Thank you. Stay safe, stay healthy.